it's Sid Meier's Civilization Revolution for the PlayStation 3. I have to say that of all my PS3 games, I put more time into this than any other. I also have this game on the NDS, 360, and iPad, and I love them all. So what is Civilization Revolution? Well, the original Civilization game was released in the early 90s for the PC. It's a turn-based strategy game with a simple concept. Take a civilization and raise it from the dawn of history all the way up to the present day. To win the game, you need to create a station in outer space faster than any competing civilization. On the way to completing your goal, you acquire technology, build armies, build wonders of the world such as the pyramids or the Great Wall, and write your own history. That concept hasn't changed much over the years. There have been several Civilization games released on the PC, and while there have been attempts in the past to put the game on a console, none of them have really worked very well before now. I think the key reason Civilization Revolution works as well as it does is because the game has been rebuilt from the ground up, specifically with consoles in mind. Everything, including the rules of the game, the design and the layout, the graphical style, and the controls, have all been reworked, and the result is a very playable, very satisfying version of Civilization. The game is not as detailed as the more recent PC versions, but I think it's ideal for three types of people. First are the uninitiated, those who enjoy a good turn-based strategy game but for whatever reason have never got involved with the Civilization series. This game would be a good introductory point for them. Second are the time-constrained, those who enjoy the Civilization series yet simply don't have the time to invest in the PC version. Aside from level of detail and playtime, there are some other key differences between Civilization Revolution and the early Civilization games. One is the aspect of culture. Buildings such as temples, cathedrals, and the previously mentioned wonders of the world boost the cultural output of your cities, thus expanding their borders. With a high enough culture, you'll find cities from competing nations defecting to join your civilization. I really like this aspect of the game, and I feel it adds a lot of extra dimension to the strategy. Culture can also play a role in attracting great people, something else not available in the early version of Civilization. Famous artists, scientists, and humanitarians from history can join your civilization. These great people always give you two choices. Either you can go for an immediate benefit, such as a scientist instantly discovering a new technology, or opt for a more long-term benefit, such as a scientist joining a city and contributing to the science output of that city. There are also other ways to win the game. While traditionally winning the game involves completing some kind of space race to build a space station, a domination victory can be accomplished merely by capturing 4 enemy capital cities. A cultural victory can be had by building or acquiring a combination of 20 wonders and great people, then building the United Nations. A monetary victory can be had by acquiring 20,000 gold and then building the World Bank. Another addition, one that I'm not so fond of, is the concept of armies. 3 military units of the same type can be joined together to make a much stronger army of that unit. While in concept it sounds okay, in effect what happens is that the individual units are pretty much useless in any type of battle situation. When you start the game, you need to choose which civilization you want to lead. This is not merely an arbitrary decision, as each civilization has its own unique advantages. The beginning of each game usually starts with a lot of exploration. There are plenty of goodies scattered over the map, including ancient artifacts that usually have very valuable assets inside. Also at the beginning, it's important to establish your cities. You'll need to create military units called settlers to go and found new cities. In my experience, you need at least 3 strong cities to be successful in the game. If you have a strong cultural output, then other cities will flock to your banner later in the game. Of course, cities have to be defended by strong, defensive military units. Something you'll need to do throughout the game is decide which technology to research at any given time. And this really plays a factor in what type of civilization you will become. Everything from technology for new military units, New buildings for your cities, wonders, and even styles of government need to be researched, and newer technology can't be researched without the required prerequisites. For example, before you can research democracy, you'll need to discover the code of laws, and before that you need to discover writing, and before that the alphabet. Of course, diplomacy also plays a large factor in writing the story of your civilization. For example, you may want to be a peace-loving society, but may be stuck with warmongering neighbors. While sometimes you can give away concessions to keep them happy, you may get to the limit on what you're willing to give away, or your neighbor may not be interested in what you have to offer. The graphics, as you can see, are quite good. The PS3 and 360 versions are pretty much the same graphics-wise. The style is quite cartoony, but it works. Everything is rendered in 3D, yet everything on the map is clearly identifiable, and the animations are nicely done. Although there are some small pieces of music played to mark certain events, there's no main track of background music, and that's probably for the best. Instead, they opted for a lot of ambient sounds, everything from waves crashing to birds chirping, and it's quite enjoyable to listen to. The people you meet in the game all speak strange gibberish. At first it annoyed me a little, but eventually I got used to it. You have to read the text to see what they're actually saying. There are a few criticisms I have of this game. One is that there's no way to get any kind of rite of passage. The only way to set foot on another civilization's territory is to declare war on them, and this can be very annoying as it can effectively block off parts of the map. Also, aside from the Leonardo's Workshop wonder, there's no way to upgrade military units. It'd be great if there was some way to upgrade your old obsolete archers, for example, into riflemen once the gunpowder has been discovered. I also don't like that there's no just one more turn option. In other versions of the game, it's possible to continue playing even after victory conditions have been met. Why would you want to continue playing after you've already achieved victory? Well, after all the work involved in creating your superior society, you may want to sit back and enjoy it for a few turns. Or, if you've achieved one type of victory, for example domination, you may want to continue and get another type of victory as well, such as a cultural or technology victory. And that ties into my next complaint, which is the scoring. If you focus only on one type of victory and achieve it quickly, you are not likely to have a high score, no matter how efficiently you accomplish your objective. The scoring seems to encompass how much progress you've made in every kind of victory. So even if your goal is a technology victory, for example, you should still acquire 20,000 gold, get 20 wonders and/or great people, and overtake 3 city capitals, but not 4, because that would be a domination victory and that would cause the game to end. In short, it seems like the way the game ends and the scoring system are at odds with each other, and that can be frustrating. Despite these criticisms, however, Civilization Revolution is a fantastic, highly addictive game. I've been playing it off and on for about 4 years now, and I still enjoy it from time to time. Whether or not you're familiar with the PC games, if you enjoy a good turn-based strategy game for consoles, you can't go wrong with this one. Big thumbs up for Civilization Revolution. From the expanded gamer in Asia, Retro.